Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Lincoln Journal-Star's Four Downs. Luke Mullin and Wilson Moore coming at you from Memorial Stadium, where it's sunny, a little bit chilly, but overall a nice day for Nebraska football to get outside for their fifth practice of the spring, officially 1/3 of the way through spring camp. We were able to observe a little bit of practice again, media allowed in, and one of the top things we noticed, there were two guys working in gray jerseys. Last week we'd seen guys in green, no contact green, guys in yellow, the injured players not participating in drills. But today we saw two guys in gray. Got the chance to ask Matt Rhule about it. He said those are guys that are working two ways, both positions, offense and defense. Those two players are Jalil Martin and A.J. Rollins. Martin, of course, defensive back, getting in a little bit work at wide receiver, where Rhule said the numbers are a little bit low right now. Whereas Rollins, tight end, a guy who played a little bit there down the stretch last season, he's working at defensive end, position he played in high school, by the way, and Rhule said really impressed with him, getting some sacks, some pressure early on. So something to watch, those two guys getting a chance at both of those positions. But a guy who kind of did that last year, ultimately, not to a lot of success in terms of playing time. Ramire Johnson, last year's staff, we heard they were trying to use him as a wide back, kind of a hybrid running back wide receiver. Well, we talked to Ramire today, and he seems like he's working at running back, but a little bit of that is still here. Yeah, I think it really comes back to this new coaching staff seems to have such an emphasis on versatility. I know Matt Rhule has talked about it when we talked to Tony White last week. He's big on that too. And yeah, Ramire Johnson is a guy who that applies to. He's been getting some work in the slot, playing receiver, doing a little bit of both. He's a guy who had kind of he's done a lot in his years here. He plays a lot of special teams, running back, so it's kind of a mix of things he can do, and that's from what we've heard so far. He's getting reps at running back, receiver, and just doing a lot, is from what we can hear. Yep, and by the way, speaking of running back, Anthony Grant back at practice today. We observed him last week, was not there. Rhule said he had been suspended for not living up to team expectations. So Grant back in the mix, lots of guys working there at running back. And also just all over the place, competition today, something that the coaches were preaching on, throughout spring camp so far, but really got to see it in action, going through these different drills, a lot of contact, kind of rushing drills, one-on-one man, working a little bit on kind of punt return, all this kind of stuff where you line up guys one on against the other. Big thing for this coaching staff, but yet Matt Rhule talking today after practice saying that, hey, they're not working on establishing a depth chart or anything like that at this point. They're looking at the different skills, traits that these guys have, but again, they're looking to coach them up this spring. He said all that depth chart stuff, that'll kind of wait until fall. So just working on that competition right now, which is a big one on the offensive line, where the numbers are a little bit low, especially lower than what we're used to. Just over 2 full offensive lines right now here at Nebraska, 12 players, I believe. Yeah, and that was another thing Matt Rhule talked about. Smaller numbers on the O-line and things still kind of up in the air. Obviously, as you said, no depth chart right now, so we don't really know what things will look like. Gunnar Gattulo is a guy Rhule mentioned as being impressive so far. Before that, we talked to Tucker Corcoran. He said he's comfortable playing guard, tackle, center. So a lot of different directions that this offensive line can go right now. Absolutely. And you look at Ben Scott, Arizona State transfer too. Think he's a great fit for center. He could play different couple of positions. Ethan Piper, also that versatility. Nori Nole as well. So a lot of different guys in that mix. You mentioned Gunnar Gattulo, by the way. Freshman, just recent graduate from Lincoln Southeast. Looks right at home. He's got a great build. Does not look like a kid who just came out of high school. He's been really strong working at left tackle, we learned. So that's all we've got for today's practice update. We'll hear again from Matt Rhule on Saturday. So make sure to stay tuned to journalstar.com for all the coverage. Thanks for watching today's Four Downs.